Hey everybody! Day 13 is almost over. It's like 6:15 right now. So I'm glad I'm getting this up a little bit earlier. I know I've been posting like 10 o'clock at night. Yeah, so one more day. Technically, I started fasting at 6, no, it was at 9 p.m. September 30th. So technically, I shouldn't eat until tomorrow night at 9 p.m. to have around 2 weeks. But I forgot to say this yesterday. I started a dry fast, just a little like in the middle of my saltwater fast. I'm doing a dry fast, and I started that at 6 p.m. Thursday night. So I'm 48 hours dry fasted right now, on top of being almost 13 days just fasted in general. And so part of the reason I wanted to do that is because I'm going to a family dinner at my husband's house tomorrow, or at my husband's parents' house. And I'm not sure how accurate this is. I haven't been able to find a lot on it, but there are claims that one day of dry fasting has equal autophagy effects and just overall immune system, overall fasting effects, equivalent to 3 days of wet fasting or water fasting. So if I say I'm 13 days plus 2 days dry, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, it's something like 18 or 19 days, which, whatever that is. So I decided to use some dry fasting to kind of, because I'm a little OCD about it, I don't want to start, or I want to finish right on the hour that I, started on. But the dry fasting is kind of like a little bump ahead, a little bit of extra credit there. Just a little bit about dry fasting. You don't get any more thirsty. Just like with water fasting, once you get through that hump where you're hungry all the time because you don't have glycogen in your system, you flipped over to ketosis. It's not like I'm 13 days hungry right now. I'm actually not hungry at all right now. And when I was saying that my stomach would kind of grab and I was hungry, that's probably a ghrelin response. And ghrelin's the hunger hormone, and it tends to peak at the times that we normally eat. So for me, it would peak at like 2 in the afternoon when I normally break my fast if I'm doing intermittent fasting, and then in the evening when I get home from work and want to have a snack. So they're a lot more mild right now. I'll still once in a while, even this 10, 12 days in, I'll still once in a while get a little ghrelin bump, like, hey, you need to eat something. And they tend to be more severe if I've had a hard time sleeping or if I'm just overall fatigued. So I'm going to let this video go a little bit longer because it is most likely the second to last one, unless I continue to feel really good. I've wanted to do 21 days, and it's taken time to work up to it. Like, I started with just intermittent fasting, and then 3 days, and then 5 days, and then 2 days, and then struggling to get through one day, and then did that 13 days a while ago, and now I'm coming up on 14 days, and I have this saltwater thing figured out, and I kind of have my energy levels figured out, and I don't have a lot of stress right now. I'm working plenty, and I'm dancing plenty. I feel good about my schedule, but I don't, I'm not stressed about a whole lot of things. Fasting definitely helps with that. I feel a lot more calm, just because, I don't know, the stuff that comes with running on ketones and not worrying about food. There's all kinds of stuff that goes with that. I never did get into any of the like spiritual or like calming effects of fasting. There's just something there when you're not worried about food. It kind of helps you not worry about the little stuff either, and that's really, really great. Okay, where was I? Dry fasting. So I don't get any more thirsty. Wow, that was a long tangent. I'm not any more thirsty. I get thirsty to about like a 10, like I'm thirsty. But it doesn't get any worse than that. And I'm not incapacitated, obviously. I feel just fine. My mouth's a little bit dry, but sometimes it will be wet, like watery. When it's dry, I'll rinse it with water and just be really careful not to swallow. I have been brushing my teeth and showering, so this is not a hard dry fast. It's what people call a soft dry fast. I'm not abstaining from water 100%. And another thing I do to kind of help my mouth is I'll swish not even that much, like a little bit of coconut oil in my mouth with peppermint, like a peppermint extract. and it just kind of helps. I'll swish it while I'm driving, and I know I don't have to talk to anybody. Just kind of swish that around, and just be careful not to swallow. And it just kind of helps keep this cleaned out, because like keto breath, fasting breath, is really nasty. It's gross. Like, my tongue's really white right now, which I think is supposed to be a detox sign. The tongue is one of the places where your body can get rid of toxins, kick those out. So my tongue's white right now, as if I were really sick or something. Let's see, what else can I ramble about? Oh, so there's that common sense thing that you'll die after 3 days of no water. And isn't that true? In Russia, there's a doctor, Dr. Felinov, and he fasts people for up to 10 days to help them get over cancer and like to cure cancer. I know, like, so crazy. No, I don't know. I've been down so many crazy rabbit holes. Like, yeah. So if this is all just bogus, you can stop watching right now if you're interested to see just how weird Sarah is. Okay. This Russian doctor, he worked with a lot of patients who had suffered radiation from the Chernobyl catastrophe, and they were going to die. So what he does is he'll fast them for like 3 days, dry fasting, and then they'll get totally rehydrated. I don't know if he has them eat or if he just has them drink water and take salts. And then they'll go 5 days, and then they'll rehydrate, and then they'll go 7 days. And he just kind of does that pattern. And the more you do it, the easier it gets, and the more your body adjusts to it. And he's helped people get over all kinds of things, just because the autophagy effects are so intense with fasting, and then with dry fasting, they're up to 3 times more, according to that idea that 1 day of dry fasting is equal to 3 days of water fasting. So I would like to go 72 hours, which means at 6 o'clock tomorrow I can drink some water. I've always wanted to do, not always, but like lately, just with my whole fasting, like attempting to do fasting, I've wanted to do 100 hours, and that would mean going till 10 o'clock Monday night. And if I'm able to do that, depends on what my day is like Monday. If I get stressed or, something comes up, or I just start to, feel really woozy or whatever, then, I'll drink some water, take care of myself. I'm trying not to be stupid about this. I'm trying to do my research and listen to my body. So we'll see. I might be able to get through tomorrow night, but I might not make it until 10 o'clock the next night. So we'll just see. I think that's it. I think that's all I wanted to talk about right now. So the plan was to break my fast tomorrow, but if I feel as good tomorrow as I have the last 2 days, I'm just going to leave it open. I'm going to definitely cut it off on the 21st, because I'm hosting a family party at my house, and I've been out 3 times now with family and not enjoyed food with them, which is fine, like I've talked about before. But I'm planning this party. I've been planning it for a while. I have foods on it that I want to eat. I want to get together with them. So, that would be great. I technically, if I am going to do a solid 21 days, I technically shouldn't eat until 9 o'clock that night. But I can always throw in some more dry fasting. Or if I make that 100 hours, or even make it into Monday, I'm going to count that as extending a little bit, and then I'll eat a little bit earlier that day. So, but we'll just see how this next week goes. I might make it to 15, 16 days, and it's time to be done. My body will say it's time to be done, or life will say it's time to be done. I need to be able to accomplish these things, and I can't do it while continuing to fast. And that's just the reality of it. So, yeah, I'm really proud of. It's weird because fasting is hard, so it's really humbling. I'm proud of what I've done, but it's also so eye-opening about how weak I really am, and how reliant on food I really am, how I have addictions and patterns, and how much food is all just mental. Like 90% of it is up here. There's what we need to eat to take care of ourselves and be healthy, and then there's all the other stuff in our lives that motivates us to eat or makes us want to eat, or I'd rather eat than deal with this emotion or this responsibility. It's so much of it is right here between your ears, and I just want to I just want to dig into that and figure it out for myself. Maybe it's like a quarter life crisis thing. Like I'm going to turn 32 in a handful of months, and maybe I'm feeling old. I'm definitely looking old. See these little lines I didn't have like last year. But yeah, it's been great. And for people who have, watched and talked to me in real life, and even if you haven't commented or said anything, that's fine. Like, I get that this is super weird for most people, but I've been telling my friends, I talked to some friends today, they're like, you haven't eaten anything for almost 2 weeks? Like, I think you're lying. I think that's dumb. I don't care if you think I'm lying. I'm telling you the truth. But it's a lot like running. When I was running a lot, I would run for a mile and just would die, which is where I am right now because I don't really run anymore. But I trained up and I have run 2 marathons. Um, so fasting is like that. I started with intermittent fasting about 6.5 years ago, and then worked up to 2 days, or alternate day fasting, which is actually really hard for me. I have to either do intermittent or like longer than 3 days, and then just working up. Do 3 days here, 6 days, yay! Oh, couldn't even make it one day. Just kind of working your body through it and figuring out life around it too. I'm really busy right now. I'm really stressed right now. My sleep isn't working right now. I'm being super physically active right now. Or, gee, everything's slowed down. Everything's under control. I don't feel stressed. Let's do a 3-day fast. Let's do a 7-day fast. That's just kind of how it is. Um, so, yeah, I was saying thank you to people who have followed along with this. I realize this video is really, really long. One of my favorite aspects of YouTube is that little button where you can make it play like 1.25 times as fast or 2 times as fast. So please feel free to do that on this video because I know I rambled and I paused a lot. But yeah, you'll hopefully only have to put up with one more of these. I'll try and do one of those cool little like, here I go, I'm breaking my fast. One of those videos where I like hold up a cucumber or something. So yeah, I'll check in tomorrow, and if we end it tomorrow, it's been awesome. It really has been amazing. If I keep going, then it's just going to be this open-ended adventure, and we'll see what next week is like. So thanks everybody. Have a great night. Bye.